exploring ways of restricting cellular technology and social networking sites. The government has had meetings with Twitter, Facebook, and BlackBerry in order to try and find ways that they can work with them to be able to monitor those sites, both to use as evidence and to stop those systems being used to encourage or help organize action against the police. My favorite part of this whole story is that Iran has offered to send a human rights delegation to Britain to advise on human rights issues. So they obviously, many people, libertarians in Britain, says, look, the government in the UK now is doing exactly what the government in Egypt and tried to do, or the government in Syria is currently doing. Final few words. So a couple of big points for you to take home. First of all, what I've been trying to suggest to you is that rioting and the royal family have been around in Britain for centuries, okay? But that you shouldn't simply understand these phenomena in 1981 and 2001 as just a continuation of a tradition that has been around for a long time. What I'm suggesting to you is that they are given new form and meaning in every generation, okay? That they are reinvented and re-energized and used in new types of ways. And I've been suggesting to you today that the riots and the royal weddings of 81 and 2011 are intricately linked to the emergence of a new type of neoliberal government in Britain from the late 70s and early 80s. And that there's a great paradox that a neoliberal form of government that valorizes market culture and competition is locked into a type of dependency, structural dependency, with an institution like the royal family, which has absolutely nothing to do with the market, but with the accident of birth, and of rioting and looting, which is about flouting the rules of the market because you grab what you want. Now, I don't have a crystal ball. I can't tell you what the future is going to be, but I would suggest to you that we're currently in a moment that is not dissimilar to the economic and political crisis of the 20th century. In the 1930s, with the big depression of the 1930s, the early 1970s, and now. Each one of those moments has produced a new type of political settlement. And it's way too early, and I'm going to sound like David Starkey, to suggest what will come out of this. But we know that the world will not be the same as a consequence of what has happened this summer. Even if one consequence of that is a deeper consolidation of the systems of security and policing designed to prevent rioting. So on Thursday, I'm going to be doing something completely different. I'm going to be going right back to the beginning of the class and looking at Britain in 1848 and looking at how British economy, society, and politics in 1848 produces the first iteration, the first form of liberalism that would come to dominate for the rest of the century. And I really apologize for having talked so long today. I promise you that there will be much more time for discussion, and I warn you that on Thursday I'll be asking you questions about the readings if you're not asking questions of me. Okay? So have a fabulous Wednesday and see you Thursday.